Hey guys, I normally don't film at night. I think that's so interesting, but I wanted to kind of show you guys what a night looks like for me as a clothing brand owner. Every night is different. There's some nights where I don't need to talk to my manufacturers, but most nights I do communicate with them. And if you know anything about having a manufacturer, if you do work with them overseas, it is currently 11:05 p.m. in the United States, and overseas it is 11:05 a.m. So it's flipped. So they're up right now, and usually this is when we finalize all the details and we get everything together. And you could do this during the day, but they're not going to respond. So you could send them a whole bunch of stuff during the day, but at night usually is when you catch them and you're able to communicate with them and change some details. Sometimes I'll get samples. Obviously, like tomorrow I have a couple samples coming, and depending on how they come out, I can give them details, give them the okay for the bulk, or we can finalize on some different details. But this is what my nights usually look like. I do this, I finalize some details, and then I have a Bible study. So I think it's really, honestly, I've been loving my night routines. I love my mornings, but I also love my night routines because I'm able to unwind sometimes. If the brand stuff gets a little hectic, I do have boundaries. I used to stay up till 4 a.m. There's some times where I do have to, because if they don't respond, and this is super important, I need them to respond tonight, then I will stay up until I get a response. Or if I fall asleep, I wake up early in the morning to see if they answered. It's a lot. Sometimes communication can be a little different because, again, they're overseas. But yeah, at night I'm usually measuring things, revising some samples, or putting in bulks, or revising some details for the bulks. There's always something to do. So, or getting updates, that's usually quick. But tonight it's Sunday night, so I am planning out my goals for my brand. I haven't wrote them down, and I think that's super, super important. And I'm trying to just get ready for the week. It's Sunday, so I have to plan out my week, and I do like to write that down too, because it kind of helps me visualize what I should be doing, and something about checking it off just makes sense for me. But I wonder, am I the only person that still physically writes things down? Because I know there's times where I write things in my notes, and I know there's task things and things you could do on your screens. But I don't know, I've always just loved writing notes handwritten. I don't know, there's something in my brain. It just makes sense for me. But I'm going to be writing down my short-term goals and my long-term goals for my brand, because I do have goals for my brand that I'm happy about and excited about. Also, if you guys don't know, these are fabric cards, sample cards that you should get from your manufacturer. If you haven't, definitely do that, because it really helps me kind of see the fabric, see the color, feel the fabric in real life. Sometimes it can get hard seeing what something looks like over a screen or over a text or even a video or FaceTime. But when you actually get it and can feel it and see the texture and look at that exact color, it makes things so much easier. I think something I've been really, really thinking about over the last months of my brand is just this idea that brand is so much more than what we think. And man, my eyes have opened so much to just everything. A campaign isn't a photo shoot. It is so much more than just a photo shoot, and I've realized that. Also, you have a brand if it's easily recognizable without the logo. You can see the pictures, visuals, and all that, and it's still your brand. It tells a story throughout everything, and even throughout all the funneling processes of your email marketing, your SMS marketing, your Instagram, your social medias, all the way to your packaging. When it gets to the customer's door, it tells the same continuous story, and the tone is the same. And I feel like that's something that you think of when it's the next level, right? And I feel like I've grown my brand to a good I've grown it to a good space. Like, I feel good about how far I've come in about a year and 9 months, so almost 2 years. But I just know that there's so much more out there for my brand. And I know there's a lot of brand owners that feel like that. Not in a way of like I'm greedy or nothing, but I just know that I'm just scratching the surface of what my brand is capable of. And I hope a lot of brand owners feel like that, because it's important to know that there's always room to grow and scale. Like that, at the end of the day, we don't want to just stay a small business forever, right? You want to grow and scale into something bigger, whatever that looks like for you. I'm not saying it has to be bigger numbers or whatever, but just impact, bigger impact. And that's something that I have been just thinking about for the last couple months. And so I mentioned this in my other video, but I'm kind of in like this rebranding stage where I really want to touch tall women and women in general emotionally. I want to trigger that emotion, and kind of coming up with like your brand pillars, your content pillars, and what do you want your audience to feel? Who is your audience? What do they like? What do they do? Where do they go? Where do they shop? What do they look like? That's so important. And once you like start thinking like that, just digging deeper down into your brand and the analytics and just your industry and how everything like matters, it just, I don't know, I feel like that's like next level branding. Because just because you have a clothing brand or a business or a brand or whatever you do doesn't mean it's a brand, you know? A brand is so much more than the logo. It's like how they make you feel. It's the emotional connection you get with the brand. Like Nike, for example, their brand, it's not just about the swoosh. Like obviously that's iconic, but they make you feel like you can do it. Inspiration, lifestyle, the people that they use in their commercials, it's just this mindset of nothing can stop you. You just do it. So you should think of your brand like the same way. And that's what I'm working on with my brand, is really just elevating to the next level, because that is, of course, the goal. And that's what we want to do. So yes, I'm writing down my short-term and long-term goals, and I have a lot of them. But I also need to write down what I'm doing for this week. I was just thinking about this. I'm kind of yapping, but I was also thinking about how going back into content creation and just kind of creating content about the things I already do, like my brand, and how I was just thinking about how there's not a lot of women that really, I guess, make content about things that, I don't want to say it because it's kind of like, oh, this is just what I'm into, but I didn't want to be another girl on YouTube that makes content just about like Target hauls and consumerism. And again, I'm not saying anything's wrong with that. Like, I still love to do makeup. I still do girly things. I still would love to do a makeup routine or skincare routine. And I love my products and things that I use. But I think kind of what we're missing is just more women doing things that, or having content that's just a little different. And it might sound like kind of hypocritical. I have a clothing brand and I'm talking about consumerism, but it's a tall girl clothing brand. So it solves a problem that I feel like I personally didn't have the luxury of having when I was growing up. So that's something that, I'm proud of. But I don't know, I just wanted to bring something else to the table, because we're into those things, but I love when women talk about their businesses, or they talk about wanting to have a business, or they talk about, school, I guess, or college, and how they, are leveling up in college, or they want to be a lawyer, or they want to be a doctor. Like, I think that is so interesting. And it just shows we're more than just, Target hauls and Ulta vlogs and things like that. Like, we have other aspects about us that are interesting as well. So, but yeah, I think it's so important to plan out your weeks, because it just makes things, I guess, easier when you can see it, for one, but also when it kind of holds you accountable. Like, did I get this done? Did I get this done? Now, by day, I don't know how I feel about by day, because my day looks different every day. But that might be beneficial for me. Like, tomorrow, I need to get this done. I'm also, printing out my mood boards and my logos and things for my brand. I think it will look super cute and aesthetic. And also just gives me a visual on this like rebrand I'm doing. And also I am campaign planning. So I am super excited about that. I have more people like on my team, so I'm just really excited about the creative aspect of it, and I think it's super necessary for me. And yeah, you know, when you just are excited about something, about your brand, and whether that's like, I don't know, delegating something to somebody else, a task that you just didn't want to do, like customer service, or bringing some people on your team, or just having a whole new idea for your creative process or your content planning, that is so fun and so exciting, and I love that. I love that. And so yeah, that is me planning out my week, what a night looks like for me on a normal night. Sunday nights are a little more planning vibes because it's Sunday. Of course, you got to plan out your week. And then I'm probably going to have some Bible study and I'm going to go to bed. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video.